We are going to be learning how to derive the equation of a line from intercepts on the axis. The equation of a line in its intercept form is x over a plus y over b equal to 1, where a represents the x-intercept, that is the value for the x-intercept, and b represents the value for the y-intercept. Now, meaning that if this was the y-axis and this is the x-axis, this is a line. So that means this represents the value here is a and the value here is b. So the coordinate of this point is 0, b, because at y-intercept x is equal to 0 and at x-intercept y is equal to 0, as you can see. So the intercept on this side will be a, 0. Now let's use examples to understand what we can do, like what we can make out of what we just learned right now. We have this example. We've been asked to find the equation of a line which makes intercept of 2 and -3 on the x and y axis respectively. Okay. So, meaning that from what we've learned, that this x-intercept, we can call it a equal to 2, and y-intercept, we can call it b equal to -3. And we know that in intercept form, the equation of a line is equal to x over a plus y over b equal to 1. So this gives us that how we write this is that x over 2, right, plus y over -3 is equal to 1. Now, because of this plus and minus, we have that plus and minus 3 will give us that is negative, right? So we have that it's in this form, x over 2 minus y over 3 equal to 1. Now, we can't leave this equation in fraction form. What we have to do is we have to multiply every term in this equation by the LCM of the denominators. LCM of 2 and 3 is 6, so we multiply everything here by 6. When we do that, we are going to have, so these denominators will be dividing into this and then multiplying the numerator. 6 divided by 2 is 3, 3 times x is 3x, 6 divided by 3 is 2, 2 times y is 2y equal to, then this 6 you multiply this 1 to give us 6. So this is that equation. Then when we write it in the general form of equations whereby we equate everything to 0, we are going to have that the equation is 3x minus 2y minus 6, because it comes over, is equal to 0. So this is that equation that has these intercepts on the axis. Now let's solve another example to also help us to practice what we've learned. The equation a straight line which makes an intercept of -2 on the y-axis and an intercept of 1 on the x-axis is, so here the first value is the x-intercept, right, a y-intercept, so that is b equal to -2, and then the x-intercept is 1, a is equal to 1, and we know that x over a plus y over b equal to 1 is the intercept form of linear equations. Okay, so we substitute immediately. We have that the equation will be x over a, which is 1. So instead of plus, we are going to have negative, because this negative times this plus is going to give us negative. So we don't go over the points again. Negative y over b, which is 2, equal to 1. Now the next thing we have to do is to multiply every term by the LCM of the denominators. The LCM of the denominators is 2, right? So we multiply every term by 2. And this gives us 2 divided by 1 is 2. So 2 times x is 2x minus 2 into itself is 1. 1 times y is just giving us 1y. And then 2 times this one equal to 2. So this is that equation. In the general form, we're going to have the equation as 2x minus y minus 2 equal to 0. The general form of the equation is when we equate everything to 0, though we can have that other gradient form, that is y equal to mx plus c. Okay, but this is the form we want to leave it as. Now, you might say, how am I sure that this thing I'm solving is actually in line with the general methods of solving? Now, let's get down to it. Let's just use the more popular method of solving for equations of a line. Here we have 2 points because this represents the y-intercept, right? So that's a point on the line, giving us 0, 2 on the y-intercept and 1, 0 on the x-intercept. Now, solving the equation of a line when we know 2 points on it, this is the relationship. We have y minus y1 over x minus x1 is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We're using this to test whether we are going to arrive at this exact equation. So this is x1 y1, x2 y2. Okay, so let's substitute. We have that y minus y1 is minus 2 over x minus x1 is 0 is equal to y2, 0 minus y1, which is minus 2, over x2 is 1 minus x1, which is 0. We have this to give us y minus minus 2 is y plus 2. X minus 0 is x, equal to 0 minus minus 2 is just plus 2, because that 0 plus 2 is 2. Did I write 1? Please. X1 is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. We now cross multiply. When we do that, when y multiplies this, it remains what it is, because 1 multiplying anything is that thing. So we have y plus 2 is equal to 2 times x is 2x. Now let's get it in this form. Let's send everything over to this side. This gives us that everything crosses over to this side so that we can start with positive x value. So 2x, y crosses over to the negative y, 2 plus 2 crosses over to the negative 2, and we equate all to 0. So we can see that it gives us this. And actually solving by the intercept method is actually shorter, right? So any method you use, all we just know is, let's get you to know many methods and then you can flex any method you want to use. And here we've been given some equations and then we've been asked to find the x and y intercepts of those equations of the straight line. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is we are going to solve the more general way of doing it, and then of course, because we just learned the intercept form of straight lines, of equations of straight lines, we are going to use the knowledge of what we learned in this video to as well solve it. Okay, so on a normal, we know that once we are given, so let's start with the first one. Once we are given an equation, to get the x-intercept, what we have to do is we equate y to 0, because at x-intercept, y is equal to 0, and at y-intercept, x is equal to 0. So that is just how to find it. So to find the value of x, we are going to equate y to 0. So that means this value is equal to 0. And before we go about that, let us equate this to the constant. So 2x plus 3y is equal to 6. Okay, so for x-intercept, we have that y is equal to 0. So that 2x is equal to 6. We divide both sides by 2. And then we have that x is equal to 6 over 2 is 3. Okay, so at y-intercept, we are going to have that x is equal to 0. So because of that, this x value gives us 0. So we have that 3y is equal to 6. We divide both sides by 3. It goes away. 6 over 3 is 2. So y is equal to 2. So meaning that x-intercept is 3 and y-intercept is 2. Now, let's make use of what we just learned. So making use of that, we still start from where we equate this to the constant, the equation to the constant. We have 2x plus 3y equal to 6. Now, if we check the equation, we see that that is the equation in intercept form is always equal to 1. So to get that, we have to divide everything by this constant, everything in the equation by the constant. When we do that, we are going to get 2 over, that is 2 into this, we have x over 3 plus into itself we have y over 2, right? Because 3 divides 1 and then 3 divides 6 to give us 2. 6 over 6 is 1. So we've gotten it in that form that says x over a plus y over b equal to 1. So we can now see from this that x-intercept is 3 and y-intercept is 2, just like we have it when we solved it. So did you see it's a shorter method of solving it? Instead of going all around, we can go through this way. Guys, if you remember it or if you're free to use any choice. Okay, therefore x-intercept is equal to 3 and y-intercept equal to 2. So, because of this, we are now going to use this method of intercepts to solve the remaining 2. Okay, the remaining 2 we have is 4x minus 5y plus 20. 4x minus 5y plus 20 is equal to 0. So the first thing we are to do is to equate it to the constant. 4x minus 5y is equal to the constant. When the constant crosses over, it becomes negative 20. So we divide everything by that constant, negative 20 over negative 20 over negative 20. This gives us 4 into itself is 1. And then 4 into minus 20 is minus 5. This will cancel out, so this will be a positive value. 5 into minus 5 into itself is 1. And then minus 5 into minus 20 is a plus 4 equal to minus 20 into itself is 1. So we've gotten it in this form, meaning that x-intercept is equal to negative 5 and y-intercept is equal to 4. Okay, now the last one, 7x plus 4y plus 2. 7x plus 4y plus 2. This will give us that 7x plus 4y plus, okay, instead of plus 2, it goes over to be negative 2. So that we divide everything by this constant, negative 2. Okay, when we do this, we are going to have that as negative 7 over 2x, because we don't want to go with, we just want to leave it as improper fraction since it can't divide through. 4 divided by negative 2, that is going to give us a negative 2. 4 into 2 is 2. 2y equal to 1. Now we can see that this is a little bit different from what we have. We usually have just whole numbers as the denominators. So what it means is that it is actually the inverse of what we have. Here we had 5 and we said x was equal to minus 5. So this is just like, that's the inverse, because to write this in another form, it would have been 1 over 5, that is negative 1 over 5 of x plus 1 over 4 of y equal to 1. That is another way of writing this. So for us to say is equal to negative 5, that means the inverse. So when you have it this way, please invert it. So x-intercept is equal to negative 2 over 7. And for y-intercept is equal to negative half. Right? That's the inverse of this. Okay, so with this, you just have to go on and practice some more until this method, this new thing we've just learned, becomes a great part of you.